Hi, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Arkariem with Karie Gonia and Edgar Stephens. As always, we will be discussing a single subject from a variety of perspectives of the head, the heart, and the spirit. Before we get into today's topic, which is time, we are going to introduce ourselves. Karie, can you let everybody know who you are, please?
Hi, everyone. My name is Karie Gonia, and I am a facilitator in a therapy called Family Constellation Therapy. I help people clean up ancestral trauma.
And I am Edgar Stephens. I am a clinical hypnotherapist, and I offer my services as a coach and consultant for individuals, nonprofit organizations, and for big businesses. Together, we are Arkariem. And Karie, I believe you're going to, no, I'm going to ask you the question about time. Okay, are you ready?
Yay! I'm ready.
Okay. What is the value of time, and how can we use our time on this planet more effectively?
I love this question because in my work, time comes up a lot. So I think one of the gifts of this pandemic showed us how valuable time is and how we were using it either effectively or ineffectively. So in family systems, historically, generationally, time has been such a construct. And so there are all these programs kind of running in the background of like, you get up, you have your breakfast, you go to a job, you stay in that job for 40 years, and you just are like in this Groundhog's Day loop and grind. And I've really seen in the last, honestly, since like 2017 to now, people realizing that time is currency, time is energy. And I think it's one of the most valuable things that we possess as humans, honestly. And I think moving forward, ways in which people can use it more effectively is giving their time, their energy, their attention to things that really, really light them up, that make them feel loved or seen or connect them to their passion or their purpose. I see this a lot with kind of, again, that old generational programming of like, oh, if you are not married with kids, with career, with money, with whatever, by the time you're 25, like you're done. And I think it's so beautiful that we're seeing that shift and people are starting new careers in their 40s or 50s, 60s, 80s. They're starting families late 40s. I think time should be celebrated, but I think we really need to shift how we view it.
You said time is currency, and I think that that was one of the most accurate things that you could say. Again, my work with individuals, but 80% of my time these days is really spent in the corporate world, and it's about cataloging my time. I'm in charge of keeping my time. I keep it to the minute. I say, here's the date, here's the time span, here's how long it was, this was the purpose of it, and it's really given me, over the last few years, it's really given me a new perspective, a new lens on time, because time is currency. I have to catalog it. Like, I have to be aware of where all of that time is going. And I believe it's actually made me a better person, a better person because of how I value the time. It's someone that I call one of my mentors, an entertainment lawyer, business manager, said to me at a lunch one time. I was like 10 minutes late, and I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And I couldn't have helped it, but I was so late. And he said, it's okay. He said, "It's fine." He goes, "But I will tell you something about time." He said he learned when he was first starting out that someone, I guess one of the partners in the business, he showed up 15 minutes late for something. And the partner said, "So you think your time is more important than mine?" And the partner said, and he said to the partner, "No." He goes, "No, I was just running late." He said, "But," he goes, "I was here on time and you weren't. If I was late," he goes, "I would be sending a signal to you that says that my time is more important than yours." And my friend, my mentor, said he never forgot that lesson. And I thought about that a lot during, all this corporate time. Whether you are talking to the CEO or the janitor, it's about giving respect for whatever those boundaries are of time, because it's everyone's currency. You don't get it back. People often ask me, if you had to put it on a scale between money and time, which would you give more value to? And without a doubt, it's time. Money comes, money goes, but time you don't get back. And so you and I had a conversation about, healing, old, little Karie's that at times when we wasted our time when we were younger, when we gave it willy-nilly, when we gave it and it wasn't appreciated or it wasn't respected or it wasn't given the value that it deserved. And I may not have been giving it the value that it deserves. And so these days, I respect my own time more than I ever did before. And I believe I respect the time of others even more. If I'm going to be late, I let the person know, why. I let them know at the very beginning, my apologies for being late. It's not because I'm more important than you are, no matter who they are, whether it's the celebrity or the service person, like I said, the CEO or the janitor, everyone's time is important. And our time on this planet, here's where I think this part goes. Our time on this planet can be used more effectively by realizing that everyone's time is of equal value. What we choose to do with it is our choice, but everyone's time is of equal value because every person is of equal value in terms of just being part of this human construct, part of this planet. And we may not have as much interaction with everybody in the world, but everybody's time and everybody's essence is of value. And I think that's how we make the planet a better place, giving it the respect, giving it what it deserves. And I feel passionately about this. I can feel it even as I'm talking about it. It's a big deal. And I didn't feel this way in my 20s, and in my 30s, it was just throwing it all around. It was in my 40s that I started to really get a handle on it. And let's not go any farther with how old I am, but but that's part of it. You get older and you realize, your time on this planet, and this body comes to an end. And so I want to give it as much respect and as much value as I possibly can.
I love that so much because in my 20s and 30s too, I feel like by mid to late 30s, I started to kind of learn about time. But in my 20s, I was just like, oh, I've just got all the time in the world. And then all of a sudden you wake up and a decade's gone. And you know what I mean? And I see people get stuck in those patterns so much. So yeah, I love the idea of giving it the respect it deserves and actually facing it. Because sometimes I think it's that eyes closed, Groundhog's Day, get up, do the whatever. And then 20 years has gone by,
Yeah. And part of that too, if we're talking about the value of time, value in this particular case, I would say value and quality are intrinsic to one another because it's the quality of the time. When we talk about love languages, we talk about, one of the things being quality time, and quality time means it's a shared experience, whether it's us on Zoom together doing an episode of Arkariem, or it's spending time with a little one, your nephews, spending time with them and just really being there and being present with them. A 3-year-old playing, whatever game that the 3-year-old wants to play and just completely giving into it, being with the older person who may just want to sit there and just hold your hand or listen to some music or watch a bird outside the window, whatever it may be. It's that quality of time. And it's not, we talked about value. And and currency, it's not just that it's a dollar amount, but the value of what that memory is, of what that shared moment is, that shared experience. Sometimes it is money, and sometimes it is just, that grandparent that's no longer there that you love, that you think about, or that child who's now grown into an adult that you can remember all of that time with. There's so much great value in that. And I think it's that quality of time, not just being an automaton, not just getting up, making the breakfast, moving to the next thing. And I have to remind myself of that sometimes, these days doing analysis or whatever. The quality that I take in creating a written analysis of something, a personality profile, a communication profile, that has to have something in it too. And it shows and it makes a difference. And I realize that. And maybe the person that's receiving it doesn't get as much from it, but I do. That was my value, my quality. I put myself into that. Therefore, it's something of value to me, because at the end of the day, if you are not valuing, appreciating the quality of your own time, your own efforts, and your own daily routine, whether it's making the bed or it's accepting the big award, then we lose out something about the quality and the value of it on this time, on this planet during the time that we have.
I agree.
So, for anyone out there that would like to talk with us about quality, value, or any other subject, you can always reach out to us at talktoarkarium@gmail.com. That's TALK, the number 2, arkariem@gmail.com. As always, we like to end every episode with our beautiful Karie sharing with us some great wisdom. No pressure ever. Some great wisdom about the subject that we are speaking about. Time. Karie, can you share with us some little tip for us to remember?
Yeah, I would encourage people this week to look at the currency of time and see where they're spending it, and really encourage them to give some of that time to themselves.